Hello guys, and welcome back to another Tweaker Man video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make some corner bass traps, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to make some center bass traps. But we're going to head out into the workshop now, and we're going to show you how to do it. But first of all, I haven't got work tomorrow, so I'm having a beer tonight. So that's good. Let's go. So we're back in the studio now, the studio workshop as I call it. I'm going to show you all the materials we need to make this corner bass trap. So here is a piece of foam. Okay, now on the sound absorption panels, I said not to use foam because it made the room sound dead. But for these bass traps, okay, we use the foam as a former, the bases of the bass trap. So we need this, and basically all we've done is we've cut a block of foam and we chamfered it straight away down on a 45-degree angle. So if you can't do that, obviously you go to a local upholstery shop and they'll be able to do that for you. Any foam will do. The foam is not going to absorb sound as such. Okay, so that's that. We're going to need some Velcro, so we'll show you what we're going to do with that afterwards. And then we're going to use some more polyester wadding and some more barrier liner, which is 70% wool and 30% viscose. Both of them are natural products. And then over the top of that, we're going to be showing you some fabric we're going to put on it. Okay, so let's get into the job. So basically we'll put the barrier liner to one side for a minute. Oh, and also you're going to need a can of spray adhesive. So this is heavy duty spray adhesive used in the upholstery and carpet trade. Okay, so we'll put that down there, we'll move that over there. Right, okay, so we're going to spread our polyester out. This is just offcuts still of stuff that I've got over. Okay, we're going to put the foam on top like that. We're going to move it over and we're going to spray it with glue. Now the idea of bass traps is it helps with the low frequencies that hover up in the corner of rooms, and this helps to treat the room and the top end and that. Well, the height of the room I should say, not the top end. Okay, so I mean obviously I make mistakes in these videos because I do it off the cuff. There's no training or no practice on these videos. I just do it as I go along, and you get what you get basically. I do a lot of experimenting with stuff before these videos, so I'd like to think I've gained enough knowledge to do these videos to show you what to do. I mean, audio is all about difference of opinions anyway, so you have to make your own mind up by trying these things and seeing how you get on. Anyway, so we're going to cut the polyester. Okay, so we're just at this stage we're putting it on the face of it. I mean, this is just a small bass trap. This is only a sample, remember that, just a sample, and you can make these as big as you like. I tend to say up to about 12 inches is sufficient enough. This is only an 8-inch one, so basically when I say 8-inch, I'm talking 8-inch that way, okay, or just over an 8-inch that way, and also 8-inch that way. Okay, and the ones I've made in my room differ in sizes because the way the room's designed, I can't get the bigger ones in certain areas, so I had to do some smaller ones, but it still does the same effect. So we're going to do 2 layers of polyester on the front here. Well, we're actually going to do 3 layers, but we're going to do 2 layers on the face of it at first. Okay, we have to glue these because it like makes them stay in place. Don't put too much glue on there. We don't want to clog up the fibres too much. Now I tried different materials for these bass traps, and this was the design that sounded the best, I thought. I mean, bear in mind, when I say sounded the best, these are all minimal, these products. But you have to decide yourself whether you notice a difference or not. But they're relatively cheap to make. Now, if you go to these companies like GIK Acoustics, they charge you a fortune to make bass traps and their sound panels and that. And then no doubt about it, they know what they're talking about, and they are good products as well. But you can achieve the same result by making them yourself. Trust me, it does work. Right, so we've done 2 layers of polyester on the front now. Now we're going to do a 3rd layer, but with this one we're going to wrap it around the sides slightly. So what it's doing is it's basically increasing the size of it slowly. So we're going to get it to about there. Going to trim it around the sides a bit. Now, I don't know whether you've ever seen this. If you open up a speaker inside, there's generally 2 products they use. One is foam, generally ridge foam, and then another one is polyester wadding, and that's what they use for dampening resonance in the back of a speaker cabinet. So we know this is already used in the audio business anyway. I had a comment the other day saying, what about real wool wadding? Now, in my opinion, real wool wadding is definitely the best. But it's really expensive to buy. And one guy mentioned to me that with a certain company you can get it free. Now, I've never heard of the company before, well, especially in the UK anyway. So, but if you want to, instead of using polyester wadding, real wool is even better. I've tried it, but it's so expensive that if you're treating a whole room, it defeats the object of trying to produce these videos for people on a budget, you see. So but by all means buy real wool wadding and try it. I always find natural products sound better than man-made products. So this is why we use the next product, which I'll show you again, which we used in our other video, making our sound absorption panels. Right, okay, so we've got that there now. So we're not spraying the front of that now. We're just going to spray the sides of the polyester onto the foam. Now you see that I've used 2 colours of foam here. Now the reason being is because my foam cutter won't cut through that size on its own. So I have to cut it so far and then cut it the other way. And what happens, it has a very slight step in it. So in order to smooth that step out, I fit another 1/2 inch blue foam on the front of it. It's nothing to do with the grade of foam or anything. This is just the former. Remember that. Okay, so we get that there. Spray the sides again. Right, okay. Leave it to dry for a bit. It dries fairly quickly. And we just want to wrap it over the sides there, like so. I've got a staple there. With that. And what this is doing is it's bulking out the sides slightly again. So it's making the bass trap slightly bigger than the 8-inch that I class these as. So now we chop those down, these end bits off. Okay, and now we're going to spray a bit of glue along there again, just to neaten it up. Because you want this to look as neat as possible. If it's going on your wall, on your corners of your ceiling, it needs to look fairly good. Now, I get so many people coming to my AV room. They think these are speakers in the corners. I mean, obviously these are like people that don't know nothing about audio. And even the centre bass traps, which I'm not going to do the video on today. We'll do another video on that in the next couple of days. And they think they're speakers as well. And they think, cool, this has got all these surround speakers in. And I have to explain to them that, no, this is room treatments. But anyway, so we're now just pushing that polyester in just to tidy it up. Okay, this spray adhesive is very good. It works really well for doing this application. So that's that. So there we go. So we've got 3 layers of polyester on the front of those. So basically that is going to do quite a lot of the absorption. So the foam won't really affect it. Like I was saying, that the foam behind the sound absorption panels made it sound dead. This is having a hell of a lot of polyester on the front of it. So effectively the foam isn't really being used. So again, now this is our barrier liner again. Right, this is just some offcuts that's left over from a job, because some upholstery fabric doesn't have fire retardant backing on it, and it's not really upholstery fabric. I should rephrase that. It's curtain fabric. Some people like a curtain fabric design, they get something covered in it, but by laws from 1988 in the UK, you have to have fire retardant material on upholstery. So if you've got a fabric that's not fire retardant, you have to use a fire retardant barrier under here. And basically the combination of real wool and viscose is generally makes it fire retardant. That's all I know basically. So anyway, so we've got that on the front there. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to trim that round again down the side. We're not gluing any more onto the fascia now. We don't want any glue clogging anything up. Right, okay, so we're going to put this piece now back onto here. I'll move over to there because we need some we need enough to be able to wrap around the sides and that. Okay, so we're going to be putting that on top of there, and now we're going to trim this down the sides there. And this way again. Now what I like about making stuff yourself as well is it's a real sense of achievement afterwards. When you get a really good result, you can just pat yourself on the back and think, oh, this is great. After all the different tests you do and the different materials you're using that you don't see me do. I mean, I could do a video on those, but then you can't hear it, so you won't really know. But anyway, so we've got to this stage again now. So we've got another layer of, so we've got 2 layers now of the wool viscose mixed barrier liner. Okay, and now we're going to just spray the sides again now. It's only the sides because the sides fit up against the wall. Now the fabric I used, which we're going to use on here, if I've got enough of it, which I think I have, is the fabric that Hugo Boss use on their suits. It's a designer grade fabric that I picked up off of eBay. Had to do some research on it first just to make sure it was genuine, and it was. So and that is 70%. What do they call it now? 70%. 70% cashmere, that's what I meant to say. Just slipped my mind. 70% cashmere and 30% lamb's wool. Right, okay, so there we go. That is our base trap there now. That's all made up. I mean, this is quite easy to do. It's very, very quick and easy. I mean, companies would charge you quite a lot of money for making these. I've seen these base traps made of pure foam. It's up to you. You could try them, but I never fancied them myself. So right, okay. So we've got this. This is the grey fabric that I used. Still got enough there. That's it. So we've probably got enough to do the other video tomorrow with this as well. What I'm going to do is probably after this lockdown is finished, I'm going to do a few sound panels. Some sound absorption panels and give them away as a competition. So stay tuned for that. Got to just check what the right way of this fabric is. You can't see it, but I know what way it is. It's to do with the little dots on the edge, the way they stick through. So that was upside down. This is the way we want to go. This is upside down. Sorry, this is what we need. Is it to be upside down? I could probably use where are we now? Use the off-cut bit there, which is this end. There we go. Right, so we're going to put it in there like so. Then we're going to trim it round. Right, a bit further. Go back up that way. Right, let's get rid of that for the minute. Right, okay, so now we've got to the stage where we're going to glue this fabric on as well. There's no stapling involved in this. The whole lot is used with spray adhesive. Right, okay. So we're just basically going to do the same. We're going to spray on the sides, but we're going to go up a bit higher here because we don't really want too much glue going over the front. It does spray a little bit over the, when you're spraying this spray adhesive, so be careful with it. Take it down there, take it up there. Now you need to do this really carefully because you don't really want any wrinkles or anything on the front of it. We want to make it look nice and neat. So we need to leave this just for a second or so, so you can fan it just to make it dry quicker. It does dry very quick. Now at this point you need to push down on the base trap. Being foam, it's very easy, of course. Just bring up the sides. You can pull this off. If you get it wrong, you can pull it off, but it's better if you can try to get it neat. Now, bring that round now. Okay. And this is where it gets a bit tricky at this bit now. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're just going to trim this down a bit because that keeps flapping over and you don't want it to get stuck. So I'll get rid of those bits there. Right, okay. So now we want to bring this up now. And just smooth it out with your hands at the end there. Trim that side as well because that'll be in the way. Right, okay, bring that over. Nice and neat. There we go. Bring that in. Right, okay. Bang that down with your fingers. Your hands, I should say. There we go. Right, so that's that. That's nice and neat. So now we're just going to run out. If you look at that, our scissors right down the edge of it. Just to make it look neat. Now that's gaped over a little bit, so we need a little bit of glue in there. I'm just going to pull that open slightly. Not enough glue on there. Drag that back a bit. Open it right open. Right, leave that to dry a bit. I'm going to come down on this one now and do the same again. And that one's gone lovely. Look, that's how we need it, just like that. Same with this one. Yeah, same again there. Just trip that bit off the top. Right, okay, while we're waiting for that corner to dry, we're going to show you how to fix these to the wall. Now, in my video, and it's my room, so it doesn't really matter, all I've done was spray some spray adhesive in the corner, a bit around there, and I just pushed it into place, and they stay up lovely. Now you can do that, or you can use Velcro like this. So basically, whatever side you want, you can fix on the wall. So we cut them into pieces, like so. This is 2-inch Velcro, so it's nice and big. And then obviously one's going to fit to the wall, so you're still going to have to spray glue the Velcro to the wall, or you can glue it with Copydex or anything really. Anything that will glue to the wall. It needs to tend to be a contact adhesive. So, okay, I'm getting there. Right, okay, so we're gonna keep well, we might as well just keep those off. So we're gonna put the soft ones, the hook and the eye, I think they call this. So this is the that's the hook, and this is the, I'm not sure what they call this now actually, but there we go. They just push that up now. There we go. That still needs a little bit down the bottom. Try a little bit in there for some reason. That's it. Right, I'm going to leave that to dry for a bit. Right, so now we're just going to turn these bits of Velcro over. Okay, I'm just going to spray it with some adhesive. Give it quite a good coating, because if you want to be able to pull these away from the wall at any time, if you're going to redecorate. So then all we're going to do now is just to spray these bits here. A nice coating of spray adhesive. I mean, this is very heavy duty stuff. It does really stick once it goes off. It goes off really well. So so we'll have to really leave these to dry now for a second. So we'll be back in a second once they're dried. Right, okay. Now we've got our Velcro sprayed up. So we're just going to stick it in place now. Around about there. There we go. It's gone on nice. Have a piece on there. Now obviously if you're in a country where houses are made of wood, you can actually staple this, or you live in a house which has got wooden walls, you can staple this to the wall as well. So basically this is your base trap totally made, your corner base trap. Okay, so let's just, got no really corners in here as easy in this workshop as such. But go up to the corner over here. There you go. It just sits in the corner like so. There you go. One base trap made up, and obviously your Velcro just sticks to it like so. The opposite Velcro, the hook, and you can just pull it off. And you'd fit that to the wall, and then it would just stick in the corner. So that's great. So that's another very good job done. Very nice grey Hugo Boss real wool, 70% cashmere, 30% lamb's wool. So I'll be back with another video on the centre base traps in the next couple of days. So thanks for watching another Tweaker Man video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And cheers.